Before we get started, I want to put a little context on this. Making this video was hard for me. As you can see, I'm a Mariners fan. In the late 1990s, the Pacific Northwest was the absolute epicenter of sports culture. The Seattle Mariners didn't just have a baseball team, they had a cultural phenomenon. They had Ken Griffey Jr. They had Randy Johnson, and right beside them, they had a once-in-a-generation 6'3" shortstop who looked like he was built in a lab to destroy baseballs. Alex Rodriguez wasn't just the future of the Mariners. He was supposed to be the savior of the sport. But on December 11th, 2000, everything shattered. With the single stroke of the pen, A-Rod didn't just leave Seattle. He signed a 10-year, $252 million contract with the division rival, the Texas frickin' Rangers. It was a number so massive, so profoundly unfathomable. At the time, it was worth more than the entire purchase price of the Texas Rangers franchise itself, just 2 years prior. Seattle felt completely betrayed. But what they didn't know yet was that this single deal would change the financial landscape of professional sports forever, trigger an era of historic resentment, and set off a domino effect that altered the legacy of the greatest icons in baseball history. This is the story of how Alex Rodriguez broke Seattle's heart and changed the game forever. To understand why this heartbreak was so devastating, you have to understand what Seattle thought they had. In 1993, the Mariners selected Rodriguez with the number 1 overall pick. By 1996, at just 20 years old, he didn't play like an all-star. He put up one of the greatest individual seasons in modern baseball history. Look at these numbers for a 20-year-old shortstop. He hit .358, 36 home runs, 123 RBIs. He scored 141 runs, and a 9.4 bWAR. He was a shortstop hitting like a cleanup first baseman while playing elite Gold Glove caliber defense. He was charismatic, photogenic, and alongside Ken Griffey Jr., he formed one of the most terrifying 1-2 punches in the league. But the dark clouds were already gathering over the Emerald City. The Mariners front office was notoriously conservative with money. First, they traded away legendary ace Randy Johnson in 1998 after refusing to meet his contract demands. Then, before the 2000 season, the ultimate blow landed. Ken Griffey Jr., the icon of the city, forced a trade to Cincinnati. The fan base was wounded, but they still clung on to one saving grace. We still had A-Rod. He was entering his prime at 24. He was the franchise cornerstone. And he was the only one left standing. If Seattle kept him, the future was still theirs. Going into the 2000 offseason, Alex Rodriguez was a free agent, and he was represented by the most ruthless negotiator in sports history, Scott Boras. Boras didn't just want a contract. He wanted a paradigm shift. He created a glossy 70-page marketing book detailing why A-Rod wasn't just a baseball player. He was an international brand, comparable to Michael Jordan or Tiger Woods. The Mariners wanted to keep him, but their opening offer was a modest 3-year deal with 2 option years, averaging around $15 to $16 million annually. To Boras and Rodriguez, it was an insult. The heavy favorites were the New York Mets, but the Mets backed out after Boras demanded outrageous perks, including a private jet, a billboard in Times Square, and a personal office. Enter Tom Hicks. Tom Hicks was the billionaire owner of the Texas Rangers, a team that had just finished dead last in the AL West. Desperate for a splash, Hicks bypassed the baseball world's unwritten rules while A-Rod was literally playing golf in Las Vegas over the weekend. Hicks and Boras hammered out a deal that left the entire sports world paralyzed. 10 years and $252 million. $250 million to put this in perspective. The previous record for the largest contract in sports history was Kevin Garnett's $126 million deal in the NBA. A-Rod doubled it. Seattle fans didn't just lose their star. They watched him willingly walk away to join a division rival for an amount of wealth that felt entirely mercenary. A-Rod tried to defend the move by saying Seattle didn't leave him a choice, but the damage was done. The Golden Boy was now the ultimate villain. In 2001, the first year without A-Rod, the Seattle Mariners used the money they saved to build a deep, historic roster, adding Japanese sensation Ichiro Suzuki. The Mariners went and won a staggering 116 games, tying the Chicago Cubs record set in 1906 for the most wins in a single season by a major league team. And in my personal opinion, if we would have had A-Rod, that would have got us our first World Series title. But the debate's open. What do you guys think? Do you think Seattle would have won a World Series with A-Rod in 01? Do you think he would have been the offensive force to push them over the top? But let's continue. Meanwhile in Texas, A-Rod was an individual god playing in a desert. He hit 52 home runs in 2001, 57 in 2002, and won the AL MVP in 2003. He was completely unpitchable. Now, here's the catch. Because A-Rod took up over 20% of the Rangers' entire team payroll, Texas had absolutely zero money left to buy pitching. The Rangers finished in last place every single year A-Rod wore their uniform. The richest athlete on the earth was completely marooned on a losing team. By 2004, the Rangers were so desperate to get out from under the financial weight of the contract that they traded him to the New York Yankees for Alfonso Soriano, and even agreeing to pay $67 million of his remaining salary just to get rid of him. But while the deal crippled the Rangers, it completely shifted how sports franchises operated. A-Rod and Scott Boras proved that a player valuation had no ceiling. It laid out the direct blueprint for the modern era of $300 million, $400 million, and even $700 million mega deals that we see today. It shattered the concept of small market loyalty forever. Decades have passed since the winter of 2000. Time usually heals all wounds in sports. But in Seattle, the scar left by Alex Rodriguez remains uniquely raw. Ken Griffey Jr. returned to Seattle and was welcomed back like royalty. Randy Johnson is revered. But A-Rod? Despite putting up some of the most jaw-dropping numbers the city has ever seen, his legacy in the Pacific Northwest is permanently frozen in that moment of departure. He chose the money. Seattle chose the memories. He changed the financial trajectory of baseball forever. But in doing so, he became the ultimate cautionary tale of what happens when you win the contract, but lose the city that loved you. Us Mariner fans, we might not want to remember this past season's ALCS against the Toronto Blue Jays, but if you look at every pregame show, Alex Rodriguez was the only person on this panel that was consistently picking the Mariners in every game. And over the years, he's shown more and more remorse about how he left Seattle. And I think he misses Seattle. But what do you guys think? Did A-Rod make the right call taking the historic pay cut? Or did he sacrifice a legendary legacy in Seattle for a mountain of cash? And do you think us Mariner fans should welcome A-Rod back to his first city, the city that loved him first? Let me know in the comments. Don't forget to hit that like button, subscribe to the channel for more deep dives into sports history, and we'll see you in the next video. Until next time, El Media del Norte, JK Reacts, signing out. Thank you guys.